Good morning and welcome to the EZFX Trading Room broadcast for Thursday, the 15th of September in 2016. My name is Bradley Freed. For the next 20 to 30 minutes, you'll be joining me for a review and an update of our watch list from yesterday. We're looking at currency pairs. We're looking at specifically some fallout from the announcements about the Aussie economy yesterday on our trade signals. And we're also looking at some upcoming trades that haven't fired off yet, but that are starting to fire off. So there's some exciting things happening. It's been kind of a tough week, especially compared to the last couple of weeks where we've had a lot of winners. It's been an easier week. Those have been easier weeks. They've been very rewarding weeks. And we kind of got hit hard with especially three pairs. So I want to get into that. But before we do that, let's review our watch list. We were watching, as of yesterday, the dollar peso sell, dollar CAD sell, euro Aussie sell, euro Newsy sell, Newsy dollar buy, and Aussie dollar buy. Our open trades were the Aussie yen buy, pound Aussie sell, Aussie Swiss buy, and Newsy yen sell. And we've had a lot of trading results as well, including we had three original stop outs on the Aussie Swiss, pound Aussie, and Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar and Aussie Swiss we retraded and they stopped out again. So I'll be talking about that. The Aussie dollar actually survived all that, and it's actually starting to look better now as dollar pairs start to reverse at the end of the week. So I'm optimistic that we can make up for any losses that we sustain. If not this week, then certainly in upcoming weeks. So let's jump over to the charts and let's start to get into it and review our list and review and update our list. As always, if you have questions, if you're watching live, you can post your questions to the chat room on this page, or you can also, if you're watching the recording, you can send me an email at ezfxsignal@gmail.com. You can send me a private message via our community. Just go to the community menu and find me under members. I'm EZFX. Or you can join and post to the trading room group. And I or one of our other members will be happy to answer your questions. You can also post charts, talk about your trades, anything you want that's trading related, you can post to that group. All right, so let's look at what's going on right now. I think that's very important. I want to start that off. We've been watching several pairs since our trade plan that I posted last Sunday. The Aussie dollar was one of those. And we stopped out. Initially here we had a signal with a buy bubble, a trend line break, divergence, and it fell and stopped out. And then it created a new signal here and a new entry over here, so I got into it again. And then we had all these Aussie announcements about the Aussie economy yesterday, and it fell. It looked like it was going to stop out, but then it sort of stabilized. It's not rising yet, but I think we might get to a point where this is in the money and starting to move towards our targets. If not, hopefully this week. Hopefully this week. But at the moment, I'm still feeling good about this setup. I think it looks like what we look for when we have a good trade sets up, and as long as we're not overtaken by fundamentals that drag us down, which I think was what was happening with the Aussie pairs, and this week we had good setups, good technicals. But fundamentals just broke those down, and we had a series of stop outs. And that happens. It's part of trading. The other trade is our Newsy dollar. We got into it up here with a valid signal. Then it dropped as all this fallout was happening with the Aussie announcements, and now it's recovering. So we're getting closer to being in the money again. The dollar pairs seem to be finally doing what I hoped they would do when I looked at them last Sunday. The Euro Newsy, we have not traded this yet, so this is fair game. And this is something I want to trade. When we get a close below this trend line, we've already had a sell bubble. We'll have a trend line break. We have a Class B, I think it's Class B. Yes, Class B supply zone above that it's touched and kind of bounced off of twice. So if we fall and close below this trend line, I will want to sell this down to the weekly pivot here, and then the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level here. So that's definitely on the menu today. And let's just make sure I'm getting this on the watch list. Right, so the Euro Newsy sell. Move that off the watch list, so we're going to call that new. The Aussie dollar buy is open. And the Newsy dollar buy is open. And those are both signal trades, designated by 2 asterisks. Okay. Next is the dollar peso. This is also starting to drop for us. We've been watching this all week. It kind of gave an initial signal here we didn't get into because it moved too far too fast, and it moved up again. It was kind of setting up here, but I didn't really trust it because it moved down and moved up right away. So I've redrawn the trend line 3 times. Now, if it breaks below here, we have Class A divergence, we have sell bubble, and then we'll have a close below the trend line. And so I'd sell it down again to the weekly pivot. And then we have I think a monthly pivot here, which we could use to target, or we could just set it down at the 78.6% retracement level. I like the monthly pivot. That's kind of more reliable. So I'll use that as our profit extension target. If we want to be a little bit more conservative about the initial target, we can use the 50% fib. As long as the risk to reward ratio is okay when we get in, that's fine with me. Do be aware that the dollar peso, these tend to be larger stops. So even if we get in, it's going to be over 200 pips. So this is going to be a small trade size, but these tend to be highly reliable with the system. So I'd like to try to trade it. So the dollar peso is also new. It's setting up rather nicely right now. Euro Aussie, this is also fair game. We haven't traded this yet, and it did a lot of the same things the other Aussie pairs did yet. We just didn't trade it, so it's we haven't sustained any damage from it. It hasn't done anything to us, and I've redrawn the trend line. It did have a trend line below all these candles here, and that's kind of been broken sideways, and this is still trending upward at a slight angle, so it may still pop up higher. But I just drew this trend line right below these 2 wicks, and if it breaks below that, then we could think about taking a trade. We don't really have a recent buy bubble. We kind of did, and then the triangular moving average repainted, but that could easily become a buy bubble again. I think there's enough here to think about taking a trade if we get a significant candle break below this trend line. So this is also, I'm going to call this new. And I know we've been beat up by these Aussie pairs, and you may be sick of it by this point in the week. However, if there's good setups, maybe it's time for this to turn and give us back what we lost and more. But yeah, dollar CAD, this is setting up right now. This is ready to take a trade on. If this candle closes at the end of the hour below this trend line, I'm going to trade this with a stop above the recent highs and an initial profit target at the monthly pivot at 1.3022 and a final profit target at the, and where are my fibs? I need to update my fibs. Pull them to the recent high. And then we can use this 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level at 1.29091 as a final profit target for this trade. So this is also new. And this is happening right now. There'll be a signal on this soon, I think. Takes everything off our watch list. Now let's get into what was new or open earlier, and that includes our Aussie, Swiss, New Zealand, etc. So the New Zealand I closed, and I sent out an announcement about that. So that's done. And why did I close it? Because there was a class A reversal signal here. So when it popped up and when we got this reversal signal, I went ahead and closed it. Now it did move lower after that, back down to this initial profit target level. But in our rules, if we're in the money and we see this reversal signal, we go ahead and close the trade. At the very least, you would close part of the trade and move the stop to break even at that point, if you wanted to still stick it out a little bit. But you do want to take your risk off the table at that point in time. So that trade closed, and let me just check the pips. We had a lot happen yesterday. So I do update all these trades as quickly as I can, as they happen, as we have events happen. And I post the chart, and I post the original signal, and I update it if I made any mistakes. So there's a complete archive of every trade that we've taken. And the New Yen, we were able to take 78 pips of profit when I closed it out. If you want to see the details, you can go to the post. You can see the original signal text, and any changes that I made or any updates that I made. Plus, you can pop open a large version of the chart. And those are just archived on my server for perpetuity. I tried just using the chart links that I would get from the broker, and those tend to disappear over time. So since I started the Signal service, I've taken to downloading and saving every chart on my server. It just works better. So that, yeah, we took 78 pips of profit. And that's a win. It was messy, but it was a win. I mean, I love it when things go right to our planned profit targets. We don't have to do anything. We just set it and forget it. But sometimes we have to step in, and we have to make sure that we're not letting winners turn into losers, and we're getting our money out of these trades. So let's check these last few. The Aussie yen is one of the last ones I want to look at. This, if you've been in it, it stopped out. It hit the stop like the other ones. We're done with this pair, I think, for this week. If you got in here, you were risking about 93 pips. Let's just, yeah, about 93, 94 pips. And that would have turned into a loser. I did not send this as a signal trade, but I did introduce this to you. So we'll go ahead and put it in our list as a negative result. But not a signal trade. A pound Aussie sell. This one we did twice, right? We got into it here. We lost 50 pips. It set up again, like these other Aussie and Newsy pairs. And so I tried to trade it again, because we have our 1-2 punch rule, which says we can try once more if we get stopped out in a given week. There it is. And this stupid piece of crap, actually, and pardon my language, is actually starting to drop and probably will complete a trade now. But yeah, it stopped us out here, it stopped us out here, and then it's starting to drop. So, but it's hands off. My rule is, because I don't want to overtrade it, I don't want to revenge trade. If a pair isn't cooperating within the first 2 setups in a week, I just set it aside for at least a week to the following week, and then wait for the next setup. It could be either direction, it could be anywhere, but I'm not going to take another risk. It just tends to be a bad idea. You start to get emotional about the pair, you start to fixate on it, and there's all these other things setting up that we can trade that are new opportunities. So I don't think we need to wait and say maybe this time will be the one that we get it back, because you can dig a hole for yourself pretty fast when you start playing that game. So the pound Aussie, it stopped out a second time. And this time, my other, see, the Aussie dollar is moving up, New Zealand dollar is moving up. Euro New Z is looking good, setting up. Dollar peso setting up. Euro Aussie not really doing anything. Dollar CAD imminent at the top of the hour to open a trade, probably. And the stupid pound Aussie is finally doing what it's supposed to do. Anyway, and see, that's me getting emotional. So it'd be a bad idea to trade this in any respect. Don't ever trade emotionally. Make your decisions rule based, and follow your rules. And if something's done, it's done. Even if it looks like it's finally doing what you want it to do, it's just not really worth it. So pound Aussie, that time it was a big stop, so it was 120 pips. But on the flip side, we had a very small trade size because we sized everything to be 1% or less of our equity on the loss. So it's not that bad. I think it was way under 1% with the final trade size that I took. And the last one, chart, it's Aussie Swiss. And this one also, we tried twice. It stopped us out twice. This one is not moving in the direction of the target, which is interesting, but it did stop out again. I think this one was only 52 pips of loss. And I posted that also. I strive for complete transparency when I'm doing signals, so I will send you the bad news and the good news, and I hope that's not bumming anybody out, but I think you need to know. And I think I need to be unemotional about reporting either good news or bad news to you to be effective. So you'll be getting all this information. And as long as you've set the hard stops and you size your trades, you'll be okay. I mean, win or lose over time, we're going to win. So don't get too upset about this. And if you are upset, send me an email, talk to me about it, and hopefully we can work it out. But this stuff happens. And for those of you who joined recently, I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we'll have weeks where we make over 1,000 pips, 1,500 pips, and then we'll have weeks where we lose a couple hundred pips. But we always make more over time than we lose, and the losing sucks. But we get through it, and we start making money again, and we put back more than we lost because we're controlling things using our money management rules. So the Aussie Swiss minus 52 was closed. And that was also a signal trade. I need to mark that. So all in all, it's been we had a lot of great stuff that we recorded from last week. Then it's been a mixed week. We did take profit on the euro pound and the New Zealand yen before why they were moving when they showed reversal signals for 52 and 78. But then we've had several stop outs and 2 trades that are just off. The Aussie Swiss and the pound Aussie, we've lost twice on those. So those are shut down till next week at least, and we're just not going to trade them for a while. And that's our 1-2 punch rules that we've retrade rules that I have outlined in the trading course. So I'm not currently watching anything. Everything is on these 4 trades are on they're new. They're ready to set up. They're almost ready to go. So these will be the last trades that I take this week. It's Thursday, so typically on Thursday I'm winding down. I'm not taking new trades. But if there's things we've been waiting for and they finally start setting up towards the end of the week, I will take them just because we planned these. We were in the trade plan on Sunday, and so I want to take them if they present a valid entry signal. And they may bounce on the trend line. They may not give us a good candle. They may not cooperate, and we may end up not trading this week. If you look at the dollar CAD, it was looking good, and then it's leaving a wick here as it gets up to the half hour. So we'll see what it does by the end of the hour. It may bounce up again. If it does that, I'm not trading it and I may even redraw my trend line to reflect the new wick, because I don't want to get faked out by this. I want to make sure that we have everything we need and that it's indeed ready to drop before I get into it. All right, so that's all the updates I have today. Let me just check real quick if we have anybody watching live. I don't think we do, But I enjoy it when people watch live. I enjoy it when you ask questions. But if you can't, I understand. We have people all over the world in different countries watching this and using our service. So if you do have a question, you can always go the community menu. You can find me in members. I'm EZFX. You can click the private message button and send me a private message. You can go to groups. And we have a really nice trading room group that you can join. You can post to. Here's the trading room group. You just click on it and join it if you have to. There'll be a join button. And then you can just post here. And when you post, you can click this button and you can post a chart. You can pick up media and post that. And it'll attach, and you can talk about your trades. You can ask questions about specific things. So please use that resource. As we get more members, we're going to see, I think, more activity here, and I'm going to figure out new ways to make it more dynamic. But it is a great feature, and it's something that I would love for you to take advantage of if you can. And finally, you can also contact me by email at ezfxsignal@gmail.com. Okay, so we've almost got a half hour. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. We'll be back Monday with another Trading Room broadcast. In the meantime, I'll be updating you by trade signals. If you have questions, you can contact me by any of the previous methods that I outlined. And I'm here as a resource for you. I know it's been not a fun week compared to the last couple weeks where we just had winner after winner, but we'll get through it. We'll get to profit. We may even have some trades that end up closing at a profit and giving us back what we lost before the end of the week. So happy trading, everybody, and I'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.